peppermint tea. Have you ever felt stuck because the world felt so full of fascinating options that choosing one of them, even one that you wanted to do with all of your heart, would leave you feeling deprived? Hi, this is Bella. Welcome to video 1 in my Refuse to Choose series. If you clicked on this video, then you might relate to that title. I really sympathize with you if you want to do everything, but you're quite indecisive about where to start or how to start. I also know something about you that you might not know about yourself, and it's a recurring thought that happens in your unconscious. And it goes something like this: I won't do anything if I can't do everything. Have you ever found yourself feeling that or thinking it? To you, life is a big candy store. You're multifaceted and multi-passionate, and you're likely skilled in more than one area. You could do loads of things, but the trouble is, you're starving inside the candy store. You don't do anything at all. You might be wishing that you could change your lifespan and live 200 years, so then finally you'll get to do all of the things that you want. One lifetime might not feel enough for you. The one thing that these people have in common, the people that want to know everything about everything, is that most of them aren't doing anything about it. I wonder if you can relate to this. Are you spending your days in activities you don't actually like? Now, why would anybody do that? Let's say the past year you've wanted to do something, say a YouTube channel for example, and you've done nothing about it. Why? Because if you just put a little bit of time each day into doing something small towards it, you'd have got somewhere with it by now. But then you wouldn't have been able to do all the other things, right? And so this stuckness is actually a deep integrity to what you want to do. What are you? You are what Barbara Sher would refer to as a scanner. What is a scanner? Well, obviously you're not a specialist. Unlike specialists who can choose one thing and stick at it, you can't. And you shouldn't, because that's not who you are. But you're missing out. You're not taking any steps towards any dreams, and therefore you get to keep them all in your unconscious, hoarding them like a dragon with its gold. Well, I'm here to help you because it's not going to satisfy you if you keep on like that. And the worst thing is, you don't really get any respect. You might be thinking that you could have an amazing channel on beekeeping. After all, you're good at it. You know what the word apurist means. You know how to look after the bees. But if you started a YouTube channel on that, and imagine that it might be successful, millions of subscribers, it blowing up, getting AdSense revenue, but something fishy happens in the next stage of your logic, and that is actually a sadness. The irony is, you're now sad because you know you can't be successful or respected in your career as a science fiction author. Nobody is going to buy a book about science fiction from a successful YouTubing beekeeper. So you don't do any of those things because your passion for science fiction writing is just as strong as your passion for beekeeping. And success in those areas would stop you from being the revered theatre producer you know that you could be. You're staying true and loyal to, in this example, beekeeping, theatre producing, and science fiction novels. You know that they all deserve a place with you, but you just can't work out how to marry them all together. You've probably been told that commitment to one thing holds the key to all things. You can be anything, but you can't be everything. I can tell you what people have told you to do so far. They have told you to choose one thing, to stick at it, to stay consistent, committed, and focused. You must ignore and forget all the other things you want to do. If that's not working for you, I can tell you why. It's because it's like me saying to you, you just need to speak Japanese, and then looking at you confused and annoyed because you're not speaking to me in Japanese. If you're thinking about a niche, you can't just pick one at this stage, and you shouldn't. So what do? Well, you could carry on like this and it's going to be very frustrating, or you could do a suggestion. Write your big list. Write down all of the things you believe you want to do. Not all of the things you think you could do or should do, but things you genuinely want to do. You might feel that even after writing your list, it doesn't matter which one you choose, you're going to end up disappointed. There might actually be a fear of future regret, of choosing to go down one path and then feeling like in 5 years' time, you're going to look back and have regretted your choice. But even if you're staying stuck and you're not doing anything, that is still a choice. And it's going to end up with you feeling regret at doing nothing. So regret is possibly inevitable either way, but just knowing how to help yourself through that regret is probably going to be the most helpful thing. We are in a new world now where we can be many things, and it's just learning about how to position yourself in the marketplace and even how to frame yourself so that that comes across as being a positive. So there's 4 steps to this process. We're going to write down your big list, all of the things you believe you want to do. Number 2, we're going to find common themes. Number 3, we're going to start scheduling in 1 or 2 of those things to begin with. And number 4, we're not going to limit ourselves. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for checking me out, and I'll see you in part 2.